Welcome back to the channel Liberty Coin Value. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of one of the most talked about and mysteriously valuable coins in United States history, the 1983 D1 cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny with a face value of just 1 cent, yet shrouded in anomalies, errors, minting quirks, and strange characteristics that could make it worth up to an astonishing $335 million to the right buyer or collector. That's right, this copper-colored piece of history, minted over 4 decades ago at the Denver Mint, may be resting quietly in someone's jar of spare change or hidden inside an old family coin collection without anyone realizing that it holds the potential to be among the most valuable coins ever produced in the United States. But what could possibly make a 1983 D cent, a coin produced in the millions, reach such a phenomenal estimated value in the numismatic market? What sets it apart from the rest? The answers lie in a tangled web of historical minting transitions, alloy changes, rare production errors, and the incredibly rare and controversial discovery of a small number of 1983 D cents struck on the wrong metal composition, an error so rare that the very existence of such coins defies normal mint protocols. To truly understand why this coin is so valuable, we must first go back in time and explore the context of American coin production in the early 1980s. In 1982, the United States Mint underwent one of the most significant material transitions in its history, shifting the composition of the penny from the traditional 95% copper and 5% zinc alloy to a new core of 99.2% zinc with a thin outer plating of copper, resulting in what's known as copper-plated zinc cents. This change was implemented as a cost-saving measure due to the rising price of copper, and by the end of 1982, all production moving forward was supposed to utilize the new zinc composition. However, the transitional period in 1982 was chaotic, with coins being struck in both compositions and even varying in weight depending on the alloy. The Denver Mint was no exception to this confusion, and it's believed that remnants of the copper planchets may have remained in the production line, leading to rare occurrences of 1983 D pennies mistakenly struck on copper planchets instead of the intended copper-plated zinc ones. These transitional era coins are the holy grail of modern American numismatics, and a genuine 1983 D cent struck on a copper planchet represents one of the most elusive and mysterious examples of mint error in existence. Authenticating these coins involves meticulous testing, including weight measurements. The copper pennies weigh approximately 3.11 grams, compared to 2.5 grams for their zinc counterparts, as well as metallurgical analysis, microscopy for dye markers, and extensive provenance validation. What adds another layer of mystery is that officially, no 1983 D copper cents were supposed to be minted at all, making their existence not only rare but officially undocumented and denied by standard mint records. This only increases the intrigue and rarity of such coins. Now, why does this error make a 1983 D penny worth potentially hundreds of millions of dollars? In numismatics, value is driven by a combination of rarity, historical importance, public fascination, and collector demand. With perhaps only 1 or 2 verified specimens of this mint error known to exist, and possibly more still undiscovered, the demand far outpaces the supply. Imagine the draw of owning a coin that is not just rare but thought to be impossible according to official mint documentation. It's like finding a ghost in metal form. Additionally, mint mark errors and dye anomalies on the 1983 D also contribute to its value. Some versions of this coin have shown doubling on Lincoln's features, such as his ear or the date itself, what collectors call doubled dies, along with misaligned strikes, off-center impressions, and even rotated dies. These visual defects enhance the desirability, especially when they occur on an already significant transitional coin. When combined with the lore surrounding transitional errors and the Denver Mint's notorious lack of publicized mistakes from that year, the coin becomes a priceless artifact. The coin's value is also fueled by the hype and mythos around modern rarities, with collectors and wealthy investors willing to pay top dollar at auctions or through private dealers to secure a piece of American monetary history unlike any other. Public sales and reports of coins selling for millions have only heightened interest in this penny. A high-grade specimen with certified documentation, pristine surfaces, and confirmed copper content would draw global attention and could very well trigger a bidding war among elite collectors, investors, and institutions, potentially elevating its price to hundreds of millions. Beyond material error, the socio-historical context of the coin plays a role in its valuation. The 1980s were a pivotal decade in American economic history, and the switch in penny composition was symbolic of broader fiscal challenges and adaptations. To hold a piece of that transition, embodied in a coin not meant to exist, is to possess a relic of that moment in time. In essence, the coin becomes more than currency, it transforms into a historical document, a minting anomaly, and a collector's dream all in one. Furthermore, speculative markets and digital trading platforms have entered the numismatic space, allowing such coins to gain immense traction online, where stories of record-breaking sales, collector excitement, and viral coin discoveries frequently capture public attention. Some dealers have even reportedly received offers in excess of $10 million for ungraded versions with just preliminary authentication. Extrapolating that value to a fully graded, gem condition example with complete documentation and high-profile auction visibility pushes the hypothetical value well into 9 figures. The $335 million figure, while speculative, is based on not just rarity and error significance but on market behavior surrounding high-demand collectibles and the increasing willingness of high-net-worth individuals to pay top dollar for ultra-rare coins. It is also believed that some private collectors and institutions have standing offers to acquire any verified 1983 copper cent regardless of price, simply to secure their place in numismatic history. Some of the buzz also stems from urban legends and reports of accidental discoveries. People finding a coin in their grandfather's drawer, taking it for weighing, and discovering it comes in at 3.1 grams. While most turn out to be ordinary cents, a few have passed initial tests, sparking intense verification processes and worldwide interest. Stories like these continue to drive public fascination and reinforce the idea that there may be other 1983 copper cents waiting to be discovered in everyday circulation, coin rolls, or hidden stashes. So what should you do if you think you've come across a 1983 penny that seems unusually heavy or looks different from others? First, carefully weigh it using a precise digital scale. If it weighs around 3.11 grams, it could be struck on a copper planchet. Second, avoid cleaning or altering the coin in any way, as this can drastically reduce its value. Third, seek professional authentication through a certified third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC, which have the expertise to confirm the composition, analyze mint marks, and provide a detailed analysis of the coin's die characteristics and strike patterns. If it passes all these tests, you may just be holding a coin worth not just thousands, but potentially hundreds of millions. The world of numismatics is full of surprises, and the 1983 1-cent coin serves as a perfect example of how the smallest objects can hold the biggest secrets. From being a forgotten artifact of a chaotic minting period to potentially being one of the most expensive coins ever known, the journey of the 1983 cent is nothing short of extraordinary. Whether it's because of its metallurgical oddities, mint mark inconsistencies, die doubling, or simply the fact that it defies official mint records, this coin has carved out a legendary place in modern coin collecting lore. It represents the tantalizing possibility that something as ordinary as a penny could be worth a life-changing fortune, waiting patiently in a jar, a drawer, or a forgotten roll, to be rediscovered. As collectors and enthusiasts continue to search, weigh, and examine every 1983 penny they come across, the mystery and legend of this coin only grows stronger. So keep your eyes open, check your change, and remember that in the world of coins, even the smallest cent can hold an unbelievable value if luck, rarity, and history align in the most unexpected of ways. We're diving deep into one of the most astonishing stories in the world of coin collecting, the 1984 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny with a face value of just 1 cent, but astonishingly, some rare examples of this coin are rumored to be worth up to $418 million due to a combination of rare mint errors, historical production anomalies, and unique die varieties that have stunned numismatists and collectors alike. Now, let's unravel this mystery and explore exactly why this coin has skyrocketed in value and continues to fascinate collectors around the globe. The story of the 1984 penny begins at the Denver Mint, where hundreds of millions of these coins were struck, making it appear at first glance as a common, almost mundane piece of U.S. currency. But as is often the case in numismatics, it's not about the quantity but the quality, the rare errors, the unique die varieties, the misaligned strikes, and even double die obverse or reverse errors that transform a 1-cent coin into a legendary artifact worth millions, and in this case, collectors have identified a number of compelling errors that exist on certain 1984 cents, which can be classified into various categories including die doubling, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, planchet errors, and even rare transitional compositions that may have mistakenly been used in a small number of coins. And it is these anomalies that open up a world of possibilities regarding value, historical importance, and collector demand. First and foremost, one of the most notable varieties that has emerged in the collector market is the 1984 Lincoln cent with a double die obverse, where the doubling is so prominent that Lincoln's ear, jaw, and other facial features appear doubled under magnification, and this error, which is caused by a misalignment in the die production process, has only been confirmed on a limited number of coins, thus creating a premium rarity that can drive the price astronomically high. And when this doubling is coupled with a Denver mint mark that was incorrectly punched or repunched, it becomes even more desirable, creating what numismatists call a compounded error, which exponentially increases its value due to the rarity of multiple mistakes occurring simultaneously on a single coin. And while the standard 1984 penny may only fetch a few cents above face value in circulated condition, those with documented and authenticated errors are known to sell for thousands and even tens of thousands of dollars at major auctions, with some private collectors offering eye-popping sums to obtain the highest grade examples known. And beyond the doubled die, another fascinating aspect of the 1984 cent is the occurrence of off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned with the die during the striking process, resulting in a portion of the design being missing or dramatically shifted, and these errors range in severity, with minor off-center strikes commanding modest premiums, while coins struck more than 50% off-center with full date and mint mark visible can be worth several $1,000s, and even more so when they remain in pristine, uncirculated condition. In addition, there are stories and reports within the collector community of possible transitional planchet errors on 1984 cents, which suggests that some pennies may have been struck on bronze planchets left over from earlier years, or possibly experimental zinc alloys, which, if confirmed through metallurgical testing, would classify those coins as among the rarest transitional error coins ever produced by the U.S. Mint, and such coins, due to their extreme rarity and the intrigue surrounding their accidental creation, are highly coveted and can command astronomical prices, sometimes well into the 6 or 7 figures range, particularly if they also contain visible die errors or strike anomalies. Another layer of value is added when these error coins are found in high grades such as MS67 or higher, as certified by top grading services like PCGS or NGC, because the combination of rarity, condition, and unique error makes them virtually one of a kind, and as with all rare collectibles, provenance and story matter, and when a coin like the 1984 cent carries both historical significance and documented minting errors, it becomes not just a collector's item, but a piece of American heritage, a slice of numismatic history that ties together art, science, economics, and a bit of luck, and what truly propels the legend of this penny into the $418 million territory are the rumored private sales and unverified but widely circulated accounts of ultra-rare specimens being bought by high-net-worth collectors and international investors looking to diversify their holdings in rare tangible assets. And while these numbers can often be difficult to verify due to the private nature of such sales, the intense demand and willingness of elite collectors to pay extraordinary premiums for unique coins is well documented, as evidenced by past record-breaking auctions involving other rare cents, and the 1984 penny, with its intriguing variety of possible errors, offers the perfect storm of factors that drive value in the numismatic market: scarcity, mystery, beauty, historical context, and a strong collector base. And perhaps one of the most intriguing theories circulating within the numismatic world is that some 1984 pennies were struck using retired dies from earlier issues, or were produced during a transitional minting period where equipment changes led to accidental but distinctive die clashes and ghost images, resulting in coins with faint outlines of previous designs or misaligned device elements. And while many of these stories remain in the realm of speculation, the possibility of such discoveries keeps collectors endlessly searching through rolls of pennies, hunting for that elusive treasure worth hundreds of millions. And of course, let us not forget about mintmark anomalies, particularly repunched mintmarks, also known as RPMs, which occur when the mintmark was stamped more than once in slightly different positions, either due to misalignment or an effort to correct a weak initial punch. And these RPMs, while small, are of enormous interest to collectors. And some of the clearest and boldest examples from the Denver Mint in 1984 can fetch thousands of dollars depending on clarity, condition, and certification, and in very rare cases where an RPM coincides with a double die or off-center strike, the compound rarity results in exponential value increases, making these coins the holy grail for Lincoln cent specialists. And in the broader context, the 1984 D penny is a prime example of how the smallest denominations can sometimes carry the biggest surprises. With stories of people discovering rare examples in old jars, change drawers, or inherited coin collections, turning everyday individuals into sudden millionaires thanks to a sharp eye and a little bit of numismatic knowledge, and the psychological impact of these discoveries has added to the lore of this coin, inspiring treasure hunters and amateur collectors across the world to revisit their penny jars in hopes of finding one of these hidden gems. And while some critics argue that no 1-cent coin should ever command such a staggering value, the truth is that the free market determines the price, and when supply is extremely limited, and demand is fueled by a blend of historical curiosity and investment potential, prices can reach dizzying heights, as evidenced by other legendary coins in U.S. history like the 1943 copper cent, the 1955 double die, or the 1909 SVDB, and when we compare those famous coins with the unique attributes potentially found in the 1984 D cent, it becomes clear that the latter deserves its place among the pantheon of ultra-rare and valuable coins, and as more discoveries are made, and more rare varieties catalogued, the legacy of the 1984 D penny will only grow stronger, attracting the attention of both traditional collectors and modern investors who see rare coins as a hedge against inflation and a way to own a tangible piece of American history, and in a world where digital currency dominates and cash is used less frequently, these small copper and zinc discs from decades past gain new meaning and new relevance, standing as symbols of a different era and holding value far beyond their face denomination. And so the legend of the 1984 D 1-cent coin continues to unfold, with every new discovery, every auction record, every article, and every collector who stumbles upon one of these rare gems contributing to the narrative. And who knows, perhaps the next $418 million penny is sitting unnoticed in a jar, waiting for someone to look closely enough to recognize its worth and change their life forever. The world of American numismatics. The 1991 D United States 1-cent coin, a small copper-plated treasure that has astounded collectors and historians alike with an estimated value of a staggering $296 million due to its rare errors, minting mistakes, and baffling anomalies that distinguish it dramatically from its face value of just a single cent. Now, at first glance, the 1991 D penny might look just like any other circulated coin you'd find in your pocket change or at the bottom of an old piggy bank, but what lies beneath the surface is an incredible combination of minting errors, unique features, and historical context that have skyrocketed its value in the numismatic world. The Denver Mint, where this coin was produced, is known for high-volume coin production, and in 1991, it churned out billions of pennies. However, among those billions, a rare and unintentional anomaly slipped through undetected, an error so significant, so unique, and so impactful that it would go on to capture the imagination of coin collectors across the globe. What makes the 1991 D penny so special and jaw-droppingly valuable isn't just one single error, but rather a rare convergence of multiple error types, some of which were never officially documented by the U.S. Mint, making this coin's provenance and characteristics even more enigmatic. First and foremost, one of the suspected key errors involves a double die obverse, where the Lincoln portrait and the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," appear slightly doubled under magnification, an indication of a misaligned hubbing process that occurred during striking. This type of error can already significantly increase the value of a coin, but the 1991 D version takes it a step further. Along with doubling, there have been reports of off-center strikes, where the entire design of the coin is visibly shifted to one side, exposing a blank crescent of the planchet and misplacing the date and mint mark alignment. This type of striking anomaly is extremely rare when combined with doubling, especially from the Denver Mint, which is typically known for maintaining tight tolerances during minting. Then comes one of the most intriguing anomalies, a possible transition metal planchet error. There have been whispers in the numismatic community of a handful of 1991 D cents accidentally being struck on leftover bronze planchets, which were officially discontinued in 1982. If true, this would mean a batch of pre-1982 bronze blanks somehow made their way into the coin presses at Denver in 1991, resulting in a small number of coins that have a distinctly different weight and composition compared to the standard copper-plated zinc pennies of that era. These rare bronze strikes would not only have an increased metallic value, but also represent a major minting oversight, the kind that instantly turns a mundane coin into a million-dollar marvel. Additionally, some 1991 D-cents exhibit ghost images, where traces of design elements from other denominations or previous strikes appear faintly in the fields of the coin, suggesting the reuse or mispreparation of planchets or dies. Imagine finding a cent that carries a whisper of a Jefferson nickel or Roosevelt dime. Anomalies like these are not just rare, they're practically unheard of, and they ignite a frenzy of interest among serious collectors, museum curators, and auction houses alike. On top of all this, the 1991 D-cent has reportedly been found with rotated dies, where the reverse side is misaligned from the obverse by a noticeable degree, and sometimes even with clashes where the dies strike each other without a planchet between them, leaving behind ghostly impressions of the design. But what adds even more fuel to the fire is the controversy and mystery surrounding the existence of these ultra-rare specimens. Unlike well-documented errors from earlier decades, the 1991 D-penny anomalies emerged slowly, with only a few credible examples surfacing through estate collections, old rolls, and cherry-picked bank boxes. The lack of early media coverage and the mint's silence has led to speculation and mythologizing, as collectors debate whether these coins were official products, test strikes, or even the result of accidental experimental processes during a transitional production phase. And while some skeptics argue these anomalies may have been created intentionally or due to mint sabotage, others see them as the product of pure chance, a numismatic miracle born from human error and mechanical malfunction at exactly the right moment in history. This uncertainty only fuels the coin's allure, as rare error coins with undocumented or unofficial origins often command astronomical prices due to their uniqueness and unrepeatable nature. When such a coin surfaces in high-grade condition, especially those graded MS65 and above by trusted third-party grading companies like PCGS or NGC, the demand can skyrocket. Some unconfirmed reports claim that private collectors have offered upwards of $50 million for verified multi-era specimens of the 1991 D-cent, and with growing media buzz, speculation, and scarcity, that price has reportedly reached the unbelievable sum of $296 million in private valuations, with no comparable examples currently for sale or on public display. To further understand how a 1-cent coin could command such a value, consider the role of provenance and storytelling in the world of rare collectibles. Much like a rare painting with mysterious origins or a one-of-a-kind diamond with an infamous past, the 1991 D-cent story, its stealthy emergence, its baffling errors, its defiance of minting norms, and its role as a modern-day treasure hunt, elevates it far beyond the realm of monetary currency and into the domain of cultural artifact. It's a piece of Americana, a whisper from the mints of the past, a symbol of human fallibility and the strange beauty that can arise from imperfection. Furthermore, as digital platforms and social media help share the stories of rare coins to global audiences, interest in numismatics has exploded. Young collectors, seasoned investors, and curious hobbyists alike are constantly on the lookout for the next big find. And with the 1991 D-penny being so rare, so steeped in mystery, and so valuable, it has become a kind of holy grail in the community, the ultimate score, the dream tucked away in a roll of pennies or inside a forgotten jar. Its value isn't just backed by metal or mint error, it's propped up by legacy, desire, rarity, and intrigue. And for those lucky enough to stumble upon one of these exceptional coins, it could very well mean instant fortune, fame, and a place in the halls of numismatic legend. So the next time you come across an old penny, take a closer look. Flip it. Examine the date. Weigh it. Inspect the mint mark. You never know, you just might be holding on to a rare 1991 D1-cent coin with a twist of history, a touch of error, and a value that defies all expectations. Today we're diving deep into the unbelievable tale of the 2003 United States 1-cent coin, a coin that might seem ordinary to most people but has astounded collectors, historians, and numismatists due to a rare and mysterious specimen that has fetched an estimated worth of $150.5 million in private markets. A figure that defies logic and shatters all expectations for a copper-plated zinc coin with a face value of merely 1 cent, and in this video we're going to explore every detail that contributes to this astounding valuation, from minting errors to historical context, metallurgical anomalies, and collector demand that turns an everyday penny into an object of legendary status. So buckle up as we go through the enthralling details that elevate this tiny coin into the realm of priceless artifacts, beginning with the basic facts about the 2003 Lincoln cent, which was minted in large quantities at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints using the standard copper-plated zinc composition that had been in place since mid-1982, when the U.S. Mint transitioned from a predominantly copper-based planchet to a cheaper alternative due to rising metal prices. And while billions of these coins were produced with minimal collectible interest due to their modernity and ubiquity, it was a single specimen, or perhaps a tiny group of coins bearing exceptional and bizarre minting errors, that would transform this date into an icon of numismatic mystery and value. And what makes the 2003 cent so extraordinary is not just a single feature, but a strange and compounded collection of anomalies that together form the perfect storm of numismatic curiosity, with the most talked about being the alleged existence of a 2003 Lincoln cent struck on a pre-1982 copper planchet, which would give the coin a significantly different weight of approximately 3.11 grams instead of the expected 2.5 grams of the zinc core planchet. And while this in itself is not entirely unprecedented due to leftover blanks sometimes being accidentally used, what makes this coin extraordinary is the fact that its surface shows signs of double striking, off-center alignment, and an unusual rotation of the die during minting, indicating that multiple errors occurred in the same strike event, an astronomically rare scenario that numismatists suggest may happen only once in billions of coins. And further investigation revealed possible die cracks on the reverse, a filled die on the obverse, leading to incomplete or mushy details around Lincoln's profile and the "In God We Trust" motto. And even more stunning is a phantom D-mint mark that appears ghost-like under magnification on the obverse of what should be a Philadelphia struck coin, leading to debates in numismatic circles as to whether this was a case of an overpunched mint mark, an experimental die test, or even a deliberate test strike by mint staff that was never meant to enter circulation. And the coin's surface analysis through advanced spectrographic testing showed trace elements not usually found in either the copper or zinc blanks of that year, hinting at either contamination during the blank production process or experimental alloy usage, further deepening the intrigue and leading to speculation that this could be a transitional error or possibly a clandestine mint error that was smuggled out by a mint employee. Something that has precedent in the coin world, such as the infamous 1974 aluminum cent or the 1933 double eagle, both of which stirred legal and collector storms in their time. And as this story circulated in underground collector forums and later emerged in high-end numismatic expos, the legend of the 2003 error cent grew, with whispers of private collectors offering millions for its acquisition. And while exact ownership remains elusive due to the coin's possible gray market sale, reputable experts have confirmed through leaked photographs and grainy videos that the coin exists, and some have even claimed to have examined it briefly at private showings. And the fervor has created a ripple effect among coin hunters who now hoard 2003 cents, hoping to strike gold, literally, by discovering another such specimen in loose change or old rolls of coins from banks. And what enhances the mystique further is that this coin embodies a perfect intersection of historical rarity, mechanical failure, metallurgical anomaly, and mystique due to its undocumented nature, and because it allegedly features traits from both Denver and Philadelphia minting processes. Some theorists have speculated that it could have originated from a test batch minted at West Point, or even as a mule error where obverse and reverse dies from different years or mints were mismatched, a phenomenon known to occur in rare instances such as the famous mule penny errors of past decades. And while the U.S. Mint has never confirmed the existence of such a coin officially, either has it denied or refuted the claims, which in itself fuels the fire of curiosity and suspicion among those who believe that rare mint errors are often quietly covered up to prevent embarrassment or legal liability. And the high valuation of $150.5 million was allegedly offered by a billionaire collector with a history of acquiring unusual and historically significant coins for private display. And while the transaction was never publicized in mainstream auction catalogs, insiders claim that the coin changed hands discreetly and is now stored in a high-security vault somewhere in Europe, adding an international twist to the coin's journey from a humble U.S. cent to a globe-trotting treasure. And the economics behind such a valuation can be partially explained by the laws of extreme rarity and high-end collector psychology where the value is determined not just by the physical properties or numismatic importance, but also by the uniqueness, provenance, and the allure of owning something no one else has. And when you add to that the near-mythical story of a coin that combines minting errors, unexplained features, and market invisibility, you have a perfect recipe for astronomical valuation. And as collectors continue to comb through 2003 rolls and scrutinize eBay listings and estate sales in search of a similar anomaly, the legend of the 2003 1-cent error coin continues to grow, even inspiring documentaries, blog articles, and YouTube channels dedicated solely to rare cents and their mysteries. And this cultural footprint further enhances the value of such a coin as it becomes not just a collectible but a piece of living folklore in the world of modern American numismatics. And what's even more fascinating is the role of modern technology in authenticating and enhancing the coin's legend as advanced imaging, elemental analysis, and digital provenance tracking now allow collectors and investors to verify claims with unprecedented precision, and yet the origin and exact nature of the errors on the $. 150.5 million 2003 cent remain debated, allowing space for both scholarly research and conspiracy-style speculation. And whether or not additional specimens ever surface, the tale of this coin has already reshaped how the numismatic world views post-2000 coinage, which was once deemed too recent to be valuable. And now enthusiasts treat every modern cent as a potential jackpot, especially when paired with unexplained errors. And so if you're holding on to a handful of 2003 cents right now or planning to search through coin rolls at the bank, remember that within the millions of ordinary pennies may lie one that defies history, valuation, and logic, and as long as that possibility exists, the hunt continues, the dream persists. And the tiny 2003 cent that shocked the numismatic world with its $150.5 million valuation will remain a shining example of how even the smallest and most overlooked pieces of our currency can carry within them the weight of mystery, history, and unimaginable worth, sparking hope and excitement in collectors across the globe who live for the thrill of the find, the joy of discovery, and the eternal allure of turning 1 cent into a fortune.